I've been thinking a lot lately about the men that I work with, young men, adult men. You know, when I first started working with men who were fighting for sexual self-mastery and other forms of self-mastery, I guess I kind of assumed that I'd be working with the men who have issues, and they're kind of glitchy. They've got just some, I guess, almost like an assumed something's intrinsically wrong with them. I'm grateful for the words of the prophets that gave me an alternative viewpoint. I kept coming across, these are the noble and great ones of the final generation. These are the ones that were saved for the last days. As I got more familiar with Satan's personality and his military psychology and methodology of sending the majority or the strongest of his troops after the strongest men, the ones who threaten him the most. Originally, my goals were just to help guys, men, young men, dig their way out of the hole and get up to a state of normalcy, if you will. It's become more obvious that not only is he trying to flatten their tires and slow them down and mess up their confidence, their sense of nobleness, there seems to be a correlating strategy to wipe out their confidence that they can do anything that matters. As we were coming upon the new year, I was remembering the New Year's resolutions and the spirit of that idea, and that happens to me in most years, but this time it was stronger. I remember a phrase, leave a legacy, and that really started to float in my mind, and I started thinking about the men that I work with and how it's all well and good to recover from something, but it's really hard to maintain your momentum if mediocrity is the best you can hope for because of some unspoken rule. Once you've been a sinner, once you've done things wrong, you're kind of, at best, you're a okay contributor to the world. I've been thinking a lot about the story of Alma the Younger and how he was one of the worst of the sinners, but he went on to become a prophet. Like, that's a pretty big transition over time. I am guessing that there were times when he's thought, who am I to think that I can do this? Who am I to think that I can transition that much? And he even allowed for his story to be told. I was a mess, I went on to do this, and I would hope that when he was done with his time on this earth, he felt like he had added value, that he had made things better, that he had made improvements on things. I would like to set out a reminder and a hope that notwithstanding what we've been through, notwithstanding what we've done, we are still the noble and great ones, and we still have access to the tools and resources, the gifts of the Spirit to do things that matter, to become the noble and great ones, to team up with others. That's another thing that I have gained a strong testimony of, is the brotherhood that can be developed as men learn how to put their efforts together. We're all familiar with the isolation techniques that Satan will use when someone's drifting towards unwanted behavior. I've seen a lot of similar isolation techniques when men try to do things that matter, that are a big deal. Even unspoken philosophies like, if you have teammates, that means you needed help, that means you didn't really do it, that means you don't really get credit for it, some weird rule like that. But what if it was okay to work as teams of men who work hard to do noble and great things, who synchronize their capabilities and their skills? What if it was never intended for us to have, as an individual, everything that was needed for major projects, for projects that require passion, something that we often refer to as passion projects? Please remember that you are the noble and great ones, notwithstanding whatever you've been through and notwithstanding whatever you have sinned. The atonement works. It works to repair damage, it works to repair sin, and it works to compensate for human weakness so that you can be one of the noble and great ones. You can leave a legacy. I invite you to begin your training. If you are striving to dig yourself out of a hole and get things in order, please look into Men of Moroni and Sons of Helaman. If you have gotten some momentum and you are making some progress, get your training with Eternal Warriors. We have our Eternal Warriors 3.0, which is even more advanced. Join a passion project team where we have warriors coming together and they are studying and training and finding each other and working together on projects that are designed to make a difference and leave a legacy.